What's up, everyone? It's Duke 5. Hope y'all feeling fine. And this is my first time doing a seasonal movie review. And we're doing, you see the mask, Friday the 13th. Before we get started, I want to be honest with y'all. I won't be able to review every Friday the 13th movie in October. Because remember, I got class and I got work that I need to make sure everything's situated. But I'll make sure I review every Friday the 13th movie before, like, let's say, before mid-November or late November. That's so everything goes to plan. But in the meantime, let's get started. Friday the 13th, part 1. Now, if you're a horror fan or a casual horror fan, you know that this movie is very mixed. Some people like it, some people hate it, some people think it's alright. Now, where do I stand? Now, me personally, I think it's a good movie. Yes, the common criticism that I kind of agree with that, yes, the movie is kind of slow. But remember, I'm more a story/character person, so this kind of worked for me. I think the slow moments work, because let's see how the characters act like, act like teenagers, and the outsiders, when you mention Crystal Lake, they give you that look. I remember this one scene when Annie said that she going to Crystal Lake. All the locals look at her was like, oh, you're going to that place? Speaking of Annie, it's great they gave us a good twist, because we all thought she was the main girl, but she was ended up getting killed. So our main girl is Alice. I think she's alright, though. She's not better than, Lori from Halloween or Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street, but she get the job done as a main girl. The other characters are alright, too. Oh, yeah, right. Kevin Bacon's in this movie. Now, the time to talk about the main villain of the movie. Hey, we don't need that, though. They already know who the main villain is. Pamela Voorhees. Now, she's not as popular as Jason, but she do get the job done, though. And shout out to Betsy Palmer, who is like the best actor/actress in the movie, because she got experience, especially she only did, to get a new car. But hey, for an old lady, she got good kills, though. My favorite one is Jack Def. Now, I can't show it because you know how YouTube is. For her first movie, Friday the 13th Part 1 was pretty good in my eyes. Like, yes, I do agree, you got some slow moves, but the slow moves don't see how the characters act and do build suspense. So I give it a B+. What's up, everyone? Duke 5. Hope y'all feeling fine. Part 1 is done, now it's time for Part 2. For people who don't know, the cast and crew expected Part 1 to fail. Hell, Betsy Palmer only did Part 1 just to get a new car, and the director, Sean S. Cunningham, he really wasn't ambitious on doing Part 1. But remember, God always blesses us with our creativity, because Part 1 did really well at the box office, especially having a budget of $500K. So Part 2 got a lot of shields to fill. Did they pay off? Well, it's not better than Part 1, but I still think it was pretty good. And let's get the biggest thing out of the way, Jason being the main killer. Another horror fact is that the original crew, such as writer Victor Miller, director Sean S. Cunningham, and makeup artist Tom Savini, they opposed the idea of Jason being a killer because he was just the victim of Part 1, and his scene was pretty much a cheap jump scare, while the other side really agreed on the idea. Trusting Phil Kudary and Steve Meyer. Now, they were very supportive of Jason being the main killer. I really like seeing creative differences. But the latter, they pay off, because Jason, look at him now he's a horror icon. Jason Voorhees, for me, he's still the show. And the crazy part is, as a kid, I don't like this Jason, but that's the design, because I really want to get to part 3, because I want to see the Jason hockey mask. But thank God I'm older now, because this Jason rocks. Because everything he's in is very suspenseful. My favorite scene, Jason and him running in the background trying to get at Jenny. And for a guy who don't speak, Jason really do got a lot of personality in him. Like him taking the pot off the stove, him thinking that Jenny was his mother because he thought she came back to the dead, and him fooling Jane that he left the cabin. Jason may like book smart, but he do got street, well, in this case, wilderness smart. I really love the design. Like, if I ever see my young self, I would tell him, like, yo, you're wrong with the design, because this design really suit an early version of Jason. Brody do got great kills, because my favorite kill him when he killed Mark, because let him know that Jason do not discriminate against handicapped people. The campers for this one, they're alright too, not better Part 1, but I really love Jenny though, because it let us know that she's very more confident and witty than Alice in the last movie. And also, she's very more empathetic on Jason's backstory, and her relationship with Paul is very cute. And shout out to Paul actor for getting telling us about the backstory of Jason. It's very similar to how Loomis is playing Michael Myers' backstory in Halloween. Oh yeah, Alice is in this movie, and we see how she turned out. This was a great first movie for Jason. I give it a B. And I can't wait to review Part 3 of the last movie of the original trilogy. What's up, everyone? Duke 5. Hope you're feeling fine. Now, this is the last movie of the original trilogy. And I'll be brutally honest, this is by far the weakest. I meant the weakest out of the original trilogy. But before we get to that, time for some horror facts. The first movie of the series released on the Friday the 13th, the usage of 3D, and of course, the introduction of Jason Mad. The crazy part is, this man started as a last-minute prop, but with some modification, is now just a crucial part of the series. I love Jason's design Part 2, but Part 2, this one is an upgrade. Yes, I know, he got hunchback, but come on, let us know that Jason been hitting those back workouts, and let's see his physical appearance, like with his height. My favorite scene of him is when he was chasing Chris outside the van, which is very similar to the chase in Part 2. Now let's talk about this controversy. Did Jason essay Chris in the movie? Me personally, I think he didn't. Cause my theory is this: to be honest, Jason very rough with his victims. He was trying to like kill Chris, but she passed out, and Jason thought like, oh, he killed her, so he's went on his way to do his Jason things. That's my theory. And also, Jason really didn't take out his mask just to show Chris that yeah, I'm the one that got you. He did just get the rope off. Let's talk about Chris. I really like her though, and I really like that how they foreshadowed that she's very uncomfortable with sexual activities, just how she didn't like when her friends were talking about their sexual relationship, and her past boyfriend was trying to go back how it was with her. Which is very good foreshadowing. Even though she had trauma before the movie, I'm glad she overcome it so she can escape Jason. I really like the kills in this movie. Not better than part 2, especially part 1, but the kills get the job done. My favorite is when Andy got killed, because you go to the scene, it's very bloody. The cameras in this movie, they were very forgettable, and I really did not like Shelly. Like, Shelly is a definition of black pill people on Reddit, because bro, you want to hear a secret? Like, that funny shit only works if she attracted to you. And like Shelly Dead said, like, she didn't like him like that. She only liked him as a friend. The forced 3D moments were very annoying, and the acting was very bad. Like I said, pretty bad. But part 3, you did start Jason Hogman's career, but I said I'd give you a C+. So that's the original trilogy, and now time for the Tommy Jarvis trilogy. What's up everyone, it's now 5, hope y'all feeling fine. We're done with the original trilogy, now it's time for the Tommy Jarvis trilogy. Now these are the movies that I can't wait to watch. I already saw part 4 before watching this, but I never seen 5 and 6, especially 6. Everyone said 6 is like the best one out of the franchise, so I can't wait to get to part 5 and 6 though. Horror facts for this one is that this is supposed to be the final movie of the Friday the 13th franchise, and Tom Savini came back just to do the special effects for Jason's death. As you can see, this is supposed to be the last movie of the franchise, but God bless him, because this became a successful in the box office. Not much as part 3, but most definitely more than part 2. So how did they do? Well, me personally, I think this was a pretty good movie. So far, this is number 1 for me. So let's move on to Jason. I watched a video from this YouTuber on all the Jason scenes. And I can't realize that, this is like the first time we see Jason's brutal side. Which makes sense though, because he pretty much got killed by Chris in the last one. Like, yeah, he was very brutal in the last 2 movies he was in, but this time, instead of like stalking his prey, which he sometimes do, he just instantly go for the kill. Jason might be brutal in this movie, but I still had a great time with him. First off, his design. I prefer part 2 and part 3 over this design, but I can say this with 100% grain of salt that this by far is the best unmatched Jason so far. Y'all know me, I love my character moments, and let's talk about the scene with Jason and Tommy. I personally interpret that scene that Jason missing his old self, and that he possibly want to go back how he really was before he became like a killing machine.
Remember me, Jason? Jason, don't you remember? Remember, Jason. Jason, remember. Remember.
I also think Tommy may represent Jason how he was when he was like a young boy, because that may explain why Jason didn't instantly kill Tommy when he instantly grabbed him, and that he picked Trish over Tommy. So yeah, Jason was great, so let's move on to Tommy. Tommy was really good in this movie. The only question I would say that I wish we saw more of him, and plus I think they should have foreshadowed his dark side at the end. Like, nah, him looking at girls doesn't count. That's just hormones and puberty. Another horror fact is that Tommy was pretty much based on a makeup artist, Tom Savini, with love of horror and the mask designs. Now, there are a lot of great kills in this movie. Like, this is like the first time we see all consistent great kills ever since like the part 1. My favorite one is when Jason threw the axe at Sarah, because that just proved that Jason ain't playing no games. As for our final girl, Trish, she was pretty cool. I really like her that she's very, acted up to Jason, which makes sense because, she's very overprotective of Tommy. Lastly, the supporting characters, they're okay, nothing too special, except that Tina and Samantha up there, 304s, and that Ted was being a dick toward Jimmy. But hey, karma's a bitch, because Jimmy was able to, get the twins to, to flirt with him, and he smashed Tina, so a win's a win. Part 4 was a great time for me. I give it a B+. And let's move on to the most controversial one of the series. What's up, everyone? And Duke's now 5, play fine. And I'll be brutally honest, I did not like part 5. So before we get to my thoughts on it, let's talk about some horror facts. Like I said in my last review, this was meant to be the last movie of the Friday the 13th franchise, but it did good at the box office. And we know how corporate is. They want to do anything to make them some money. But there's one problem. Jason is dead, so they need a new killer. Yeah, we'll get to that. The NBA really censored the kills this one. That's what not as gory as the last 4 movies. With that done, let's get to my review. And like I said at the beginning, I really don't like this one. Only because, you know, the characters are really forgivable, like very forgivable for our Friday 13 franchise. Tommy wasn't in that much. And of course, the main killer himself. Let's get to it. Let's talk about Roy. I see the vision, like this could work, but Roy is not really an interesting character, especially compared to like Jason. Because we're gonna make Jason work because we know about Jason's backstory from part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. Like we know that he's a disabled kid, he was bullied, and after his mother's death, he possibly like lived in the woods. And he only doing this out of revenge, and he's very territorial of his territory. Hell, we knew about Pamela before her reveal. The only thing we know about Roy is that he's a cop, he got a son, he went insane after his son got killed, and he researched on Jason kills. The foreshadowing we get of Roy is that when he saw his son down on the ground, it did look like he was about to go insane. And when the sheriff was talking about the murders, Roy looked at him and was like, "Are you talking about me, sir?" But all we get of him, hell, even his kills are alright. Like I said, beginning of the short, the MPAA really censored these kills. That's when someone get killed, they always zoom in on their face, and that was very annoying for me. And also right here, this is a pillow. The only kill I like is like we all agree was when the couple got killed in the woods. Like Roy using the garden shears and the belt was very creative of him. Oh yeah, speaking of this couple, oh yeah, that scene was very, you know, spicy because the director, he's directing pornos. So it makes sense that he's worried more about the sex scenes more than the kills. The side characters weren't very interesting either. And our final girl and final boy, they were just annoying to me. And plus, I can't remember names. I really don't care about it. But I do say this side character scene is very funny though.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
So what do I like about this movie? Well, I do love Tommy Jarvis' arc in this movie. It didn't always be to see more of him, but I did like how he started out as a innocent, well, kinda optimistic boy, all the way to a traumatized boy after his last encounter with Jason. I see the vision of multiple characters with mental health issues coming together to stop a killer and whodunit plot, but the director, he didn't escalate it properly. I think that they had like a stand deadline and rewriting script. It could have turned out perfectly, but as right now, I give it a D+. And the only grace that guy is Tommy Jarvis. What's up, everyone? Duke's 5. Hope you're feeling fine. After reviewing part 5, I was like, man, we need to bounce back from that. So I hope part 6 is really good. Spoiler, it's really good. Hell, I think it's like the best movie out of the franchise so far. Before we get to review, let's talk about some horror facts. Tom McFlopin is the first director to write and direct. The introduction of Zombie Jason, no nudity, well, there's still sex though. Inspiration from Universal Frankenstein. And of course, Jason, you know, was played by 2 actors. You ever know why Jason was very fat in the paintball scene? Well, Jason, he was played by a stunt coordinator, Dan Bradley. But the producer, they want to lean Jason, so they replaced him with CJ Graham. They still get a scene though. So even as a zombie, Jason still steals the show for me. I don't know how old fans feel when Zombie Jason got a first introduction, especially around this time. Horror films were moving towards the unnatural route. Only in the last movie, Jason is less brutal and more technical. Well, he's still brutal though, but now he's more like a military stalking his prey, which makes sense because CJ, he was like a former veteran. We still get some characters from Jason, like him noticing his unnatural strength, like how he killed that one person by ripping his arm off, and when he ripped the girl's head off. And also, let's talk about this scene.
No, down to sleep or pretty little bit. I still think if I should die before I wake up, I still think no, down to sleep or pretty little bit. So if I should die before I wake up, I myself.
Till this day, people still debating that do Jason kill kids. I'm one of those people that think he don't kill kids. Because we all know Jason, if he wants you dead, he instantly going to kill you. So he got an opportunity to kill all those kids in the room, especially the little girl. So Jason, that's just proof that he do got morals. And better say, he did die when he was a kid. So technically, he's still a kid at heart. I know. What about the scene when he barged in the door? Well, he only did it for bait for Tommy and his girlfriend. He wasn't out here to kill the kids. I think it's just a main thing, but I think Jason just won't go back to Crystal Lake. But he got prey to deal with. I do love the Jason design. The only my problem is that I don't like the yellow gloves. It just don't match with the outfit. But that pocket knife is really good though. Jason really got good kills. My favorite kill was when he floored that sheriff just like a rag doll. Now, time to talk about Tommy. This is by far the best Tommy Jarvis in the franchise. It's nice that he overcome his PSD and that he needed to stop Jason. You know it's his fault that he brought him back, but at least it's nice to know that he got responsibilities to do with. One thing for certain, Tommy can limit the tale that he's the one that beat Jason, insult Jason, and he was not able to die from it. He also got him a baddie girlfriend named Megan. Megan, I don't know why you're into guys that's in jail, but it's nice that you're right to die for him. And also shout out to her dad that he is a very overprotective father and doing anything to protect his baby girl. Even me going against Jason. Man, Tommy and Meg should have been like the main character for all this franchise. But American Dream, oh yeah, the side characters, you know the sentence, they're alright. For the comedy, I didn't feel like it was a meta comedy. It's still aligned with the comedy of the Friday 13 franchise, but that's just me. And you can see I really love this movie. I give it an A. So with the Tommy Jarvis movie all the way, it's time to move to the Kane Hodder movies. What's up everyone? Decent on 5, hope you're feeling fine. Goodbye Tommy Jarvis, I had a great time with your movies, but now it's time to start with the Kane Hodder movies. So let's get started. As y'all know, Friday 13 fans, including myself, we all agree that Friday 13 Part 6, Jason's literally like one of the best Friday 13 movies. But it didn't do good at the box office. Well, technically, it did do good at the box office, like, did make his money back, but compared to the other 5 movies, it didn't make as money as them. But hey, some made Paramount some money, so why change it though? So before we get into our review, let's start with some horror facts. The biggest fact that it's supposed to be like Freddy vs. Jason, but unfortunately, Paramount didn't have the rights for Freddy Krueger, because Freddy Krueger was under New Line Cinema, so they had to scrap that idea. The next fact is the misinformation. A lot of people think this is supposed to be Jason vs. Carrie, but that turned out not to be true. Like, the idea was Jason going against a telekinetic girl, but so the producer and screenwriter, they name it as Jason vs. Carrie. The actual house was built and destroyed. Part 7, like, all the movies, this is like the most censored one. And of course, the big one, the introduction of Kane Hodder. I can see why people like Kane Hodder Jason. Because Kane brought like a really pissed off Jason. Like, I never see this nigga pissed since like Part 4, which is understandable because Brody was underwater for like years. Speaking of which, how the hell Jason got buff? Like, this nigga was underwater. I guess fish is good protein. And like I said, this is designed like by far the best zombie Jason design so far. Like, come on. The ripped clothes, the spine is out. The unmasking, like verified the best unmasked Jason we've seen so far. The muscles and the chain around his neck, because that's really a good touch though. Now, Kane Hodder, he's my favorite Jason. I tell you what though, if we're going by this movie, he's my favorite, but he's in like the bad Friday 13 movies. Like, yeah, he's still good, but come on, those other movies kind of ruined the performance for him. New Blood, you got one of the best Jason designs and of course the best kills. Like I said at the beginning of the short, MPA really censored this movie, so I recommend y'all see the uncensored kills. My favorite kills is of course the sleeping bag kill, and of course it's very personal, the doctor getting killed. Yeah, fuck that nigga. Especially how he treated towards Tina. I really like Tina though. Like, all the final girls, she's like my favorite. And of course, she was able to like pit Jason on. Because Jason, he really wanted her dead. Now, it's like having a telekinetic girl for Jason is like a crazy and very stupid idea. It's kinda, but it's fun though. Especially this is a franchise where we had like a hockey mask zombie killer. The extras, man, y'all pretty much was a sentence. They're alright. Besides like Tina's mom and Nick, I really like them though. In my humble opinion, Part 6 is like by far the most underrated Friday 13 movie of all time. Which I don't know why, because it's very similar to Part 4. Like, you got the house atmosphere, a pissed off Jason, women's getting thrown off of windows. But hey, for each their own though. That's why I get Part 7 a B. So this pretty much was a good movie. So I won't get the other 2 out of the way because, spoiler alert, they're bad. What's up everyone, Decent on 5, hope y'all feeling fine. And I'll be brutally honest, I won't get this review over because I really didn't like this movie. Jason takes my hand, we're like, Jason goes shipwreck. Because this movie worse than Part 5. At least with Part 5, I see the vision, just the director right didn't execute properly. While this movie, there was a vision, but they had to cut corners because there's not much money they can do with the budget. Today we're fast that this is the first Friday 13 movie to have a budget over $5 million. And Kane Hodder, he was originally supposed to like, you know, kick a dog at Jason, but he said that Jason wouldn't kick a dog, which I 100% agree. The big one is which is the production issues, such as most of the New York scenes they filmed that in Vancouver, and the scene where Jason was in Times Square. I forgot like how long that being there, but I know like that they had been in that scene really quick. The original marketing campaign was "I love New York," but the New York tourist community said like that would ruin like having tourists coming to New York, so they changed the poster. Well, to be fair, I prefer this poster than like the old one for the marketing campaign. So those are the facts, and let's move to Jason. I'm sorry, my goat, but you were just, I can't believe to say this sentence, you were alright. My question is, how did you miss? Like, when you were human, you had precise aim, and now you're just missing these bitches? And why are you taking slow for your kills? Could you be fast with it? My theory is possibly that maybe Jason, you know, this time he's very skeptical when he deal with like, you know, the humans, because, you know, he dealt with Tina in the last movie. Also, one of my biggest questions, Jason, why are you going after these people? Like, I could understand the first couple you kill, but these niggas, bro, they're just on a boat, so they're gonna leave your territory. I also don't like this Jason design. Like, it's cool. Like, it's like a low C tier, which I don't. Only reason that because I don't like the mask and the wet on his clothes. Like, it's a cool touch. But the more times I see it in the movie, I'll be like, okay, it's just cool right now. Time for the ending. Fuck this ending. Like, fuck this scene. Jason pretty much pathetic in the ending. Even the kills are okay. My favorite one was when Jason killed Julius, and of course, which I can't say on YouTube, the people that were trying to essay the main character. A lot of the characters, they were pretty much forgettable, except for Julius. The main girl, like, I don't really care about research about her. She was boring, and her backstory with Jason made no sense at all. And fuck this dumbass, like, bro, why would you push your niece into a deep lake knowing damn well she cannot swim? When I say this movie pretty much Jason goes shipwreck, I pretty much mean it. Like, Jason was pretty much on the boat for like an hour, and he was only in New York for like 30 minutes. And of course, the shipwreck is pretty much like, this is pretty much like a shipwreck like for the franchise, because it goes downhill from here. So that's why I give it a D. So let's get the last one over with. What's up, everyone? Duke's on 5. Hope you're feeling fine. After watching Jason Goes to Hell, this is better than Jason Takes Manhattan. It is, but it's so bad. Before we get to my thoughts on the review, let's talk about some horror facts. This is like the first Friday 13 movie under New Line Cinema. Yes, that New Line Cinema. Sean S. Cunningham. Yes, that's Sean S. Cunningham, one of the Friday 13 creators, came back to like just as a producer. But creator, he's a producer, but he picked an inexperienced director to direct this movie. And Kane Hodder, you know, he said that it was very difficult for him to wear Jason design in this movie. Only because it was hard for him to move and to breathe. I respect Kane Hodder, and I do agree with him on Jason. Jason is really bad in this movie, like in a bad way. First off, Jason should not be grunting in this damn movie. I keep dealing with grunting as a human, but as a zombie, it just looked very off. And speaking of, I really don't like this damn design. Like, it looked very like, you know, mashed meat, and Jason is very fat. But I give an extra point having the mask really stuck up to his face. I can deal with the body swaps because, you know, Friday 13 had like a lot of unnatural moments, but it still don't make sense like why Jason need to kill a family member, knowing damn well like he been coming back to life without killing a family member. Like, I get it's his body, but still though, they can make him so much better. So yeah, Jason sucks in the movie. But one thing I do like in this movie, well, I really love the special effects and the kills. Like the opening scene where Jason get done by the FBI or the police was very brutal. It's just crazy. It announced him like, you know, get the FBI involved. Maybe because Jason was in New York, and you know, New York, that's a very like, you know, a big area. So they're like, yeah, we need to take this nigga down. The kills are really good. My favorite was when like the guy was melting, the bar scene. And of course, the couple were getting like cut in half in the tent. Well, it was technically the girl, but you know, hey, I don't count it together. The only character I kind of do like, well, sorta, is Duke. I like those type of characters where their job is like, you know, research on the main enemy and figure out how to stop them. But the problem is we don't see much in Duke, and we won't get his backstory. But I heard that there was a scene, you know, explain Duke history. That's just what I heard, but I didn't do more research on this. Out of all the Friday 13 movies, this is like the one Friday 13 movie you can watch with friends, because it really don't make sense. And of course, the fun and the comedy is much better when you have your friends while y'all are drunk. Jason Goes to Hell was pretty much hell, so that's why I give it a D. And I'm so glad this is like the last bad movie where most of the Friday 13 fans agreed was very bad. Oh shit, how can I forget? This Jason Going to Hell was a great special effect, and of course the ending where Freddy Glove came in and grabbed Jason mad. Now that was top tier though. What's up, everyone? Duke's not 5. Hope you're feeling fine. And having so much fun in this marathon. And best thing, we're down to the last 3 movies, so I can't wait to review them. Well, we're doing that right now though. We're starting with Jason X. I'm reviewing Jason Go to Manhattan and Jason Go to Hell, which were very bad movies. I know they got their fans, but they're D tier. So it's nice that we finally talked to where most Friday 13 fans believe that it's the most underrated one. So how do I feel? I personally think it's fun, but it's still dumb. Before we get to the review, let's do some horror facts. This movie pretty much was created just because, you know, keep fans hyped for Freddy vs. Jason, because they had waited a long time. Film director David Cronenberg is in this movie as a favor for Jason director James Isaac. But there's a catch. He would be in the movie, but he wanted his character to get killed off. Jason X was pretty much done filming in April 2000, but with behind the scenes issue with New Line Cinema, it kept the film shelved until 2001 for Europe and 2002 in America. Those are some of the horror facts. Now let's go on to review. The reason why I say Jason X is fun but dumb, because the film don't really take itself seriously, which I get, that's the point of the movie. And plus the franchise pretty much got like their funny moments, but they're like these lines.
Fever and upload.
It's gonna take more than a poke in the ribs to put down this old dog. Yeah, that ought to do it.
This sucks on so many levels!
Even though the comedy is 50-50 for me, I'm just glad the movie finally got Jason right. because it's finally put Jason in an area that he's not supposed to be in. Jason, take some notes from this. Like, Jason is now out of his territory. Now he had to kill people so he can go back to his territory. My favorite scene from him is when he took out the guards on the ship, because everyone shows that Jason is very sneaky, like, because we never see that in a long time. Also, the beginning of the movie where he took out the security guards. Man, Jason really got underrated battle IQ. The Jason design I really love though. Like, I really love the cross-eye look and the jacket. And of course the chain around the neck, which that's a good touch. I always love that. But that would be Uber Jason. Yes, he do like Lord Zed though. But come on, this is Jason at his peak strength. And man, plus I gotta admit, it's very cool though. So that's his Kane Hart last movie. How do I feel about him? Well, I love Kane Hart. He did a major job in playing as Jason in part 7. But unfortunately, he's been playing him in the bad movies, which really turned him down. I feel like if he got a good script, he would be like one of the best Jason of all time. The kills in the movie is really great. My favorite, which is very predictable, was the liquid nitrogen kill. The main girl, she was forgettable. Like, I get it, they were trying to make her a badass, but she still wasn't this breakout point. The second character's ring was KM, the Virgin, and Bronski. Shout out to Bronski. Like, this nigga got some balls. Like, he said to Jason and sacrificed himself to save for his team. The side characters, they're so forgettable. But I would say this: the comedy reduced suit that some of these characters are teenagers. Oh yeah, fuck this bitch. I'm glad she died. She was very annoying. Overall, Jason X, it was a fun but dumb movie. So I recommend you watch it with friends because you guys will be drunk as hell. So that's why I give it a B-. So I really had a great time. And time for the last two, especially for the next one, because that's my favorite. What's up, everyone? Duke's now 5. Hope you're feeling fine. Now, all the Friday 13 movies that I can't wait to watch, this one is number 1. All the movies, this is the one I watched the most. Y'all know, Joe. Time for some horror facts. This is the last film for Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. This movie got like a budget of $25 million. And it's by far the most highest gross Friday 13 film of all time. Kane Hart, he was keen to reprise his role, but people didn't like seem to believe that it should go with a new actor, which is Kiri Ziegler. I think I pronounced his last name right. Oh yeah, that guy. The reason why they replaced him because they want a taller version of Jason, and plus, Kane Hart Jason, he's more aggressive. But I understand a taller part because Kane Hart, he is already a tall guy. But hey, it's their movie. The movie was in development hell for 15 years, and over 56 directors were considered to direct this movie. Even someone like Rob Zombie, but he declined the role because he was doing something else for his pre-production for House of 1,000 Corpse. And those are some of the facts. So let me tell you about why I love this movie. How this is going to work, I'm going to review it as a Friday 13 perspective. Come on, this is a Friday 13 marathon, not a Nightmare on Elm Street marathon. And plus, I didn't see all of Nightmare on Elm Street. But all you Nightmare on Elm Street fans, let me tell you this. Freddy, he was awesome in this movie, and he really stole the show. But the goal is still great as always. Actually, what the producers mean by that, because can't portray a Jason like he's under control. Like, he's more calm, smoother, and less aggressive. Like, don't get twisted, he's still aggressive though. But once he met Freddy, he was pissed. And they did that again, the most iconic horror fight of all time. Freddy vs. Jason. Like, yeah, I do agree. Do got some Looney Tunes moments. But come on, it fixed with both their characters. Like, Freddy, he loved toying with his victims, and Jason, he's more like, yeah, he get the job done. I personally believe that if Jason has some prep time, he would totally beat Freddy in the real world. Remember, Jason is stronger in the real world, while Freddy is strong in the dream world. Now, let's talk about this thing. Is Jason scared of water? Hell no, he's not scared of water, he's scared of drowning. And once Freddy figured out, he made Jason remember how his past trauma. Now that makes sense why Jason was very pissed off in part 7, because he was underwater for like years. But even if he is or isn't scared of water, I do love the symbolism that Jason represented that, he's created by water, and Fred represented that he was created by fire. Also, Jason is pretty much strength, while Freddy is spirit. So both of them are pretty much like yin yang. This design by far my favorite Jason design of all time. Because I got everything I wanted in Jason. Like, the jacket, the cross-side, and the zombie skin. The only missing is a Shane. So shout out to Mortal Kombat. The kills are phenomenal. Like, I see why fans are mad that Freddy only got 1 kill. But remember, Freddy's goal is to use Jason to kill so many people, so the people can still free Freddy. The main girl and the side character got some character development. Yes, character development in a Friday 13 movie. Lori was a great main girl. Hell, I think she's like the best main girl of all the Friday 13 movies of all time. Cause I love that her backstory pretty much tied with Freddy Krueger. As you're gonna see, I really love this movie, and that's why I give it a S. Because this is by far one of the best Friday 13 movies of all time. So I can't wait, talk about the last one, which is the reboot. What's up, everyone? Duke's Time 5. Hope y'all feeling fine. Now, this is the last Friday 13 movie review. And I want to say that I had a great time reviewing these movies and watching them. Like, yeah, it may have their ups and downs, but I'm glad that I'm very experienced, especially with everybody else. So let's talk about the last one, the reboot, which is called Friday 13, or we like to call it Friday 13 2009. For some horror facts, this time that the reason why this movie is very dark and gray because it came out around the time where a lot of horror movies are doing like dark and gray reboots. Best in the director, he directed the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003. So you can see that. So you can see that with the vision and style. Friday the 13th 2009. This is like the most expensive Friday the 13th movie, and it's also the most successful one. We're going by solely. Michael Bay is the producer of this film, and you pretty much can see it though. As a fan of the Transformers movies, you can see with like the similar lighting. Also, the actor who played Trent also played Trent in the Transformers 2007. Is this a coincidence? Possibly. Those are the horror facts, and now they're going to review. Yo, let me tell you something. This was a great movie. Hell, I think it's better than the original. All because, the kills, the vision, and the style. And of course, the main villain himself, Jason. I can see why people call him Rambo Jason. Because this motherfucker, he used bear traps, ropes, signals, and he built tunnels. Now, this is the type of Jason I love. I love my Jason that's very intelligent, and he's very cunning, and he only killed people in his territory. I still don't know why Jason was in this guy's barn, because he really was in his territory. Get my boy respect, because he built those tunnels all by himself, though. I love this Jason design, because it pretty much makes a lot of Jason design from the past movies. Like, he got the hunchback from part 3, the sack head from part 2, and the jacket from Jason X and Freddy vs. Jason. Very high from the actor though, because Jason from 6'5", and make him look very more imitating. Will make this better, of course, the chain around the neck, but we gotta wait till he gets zombie. If there was a damn sequel. I really love the kills, because this brutality is crazy. Because Jason, he runs, like he fucking runs. My favorite kill is, of course, the sleep bag kill, and when he threw the X at that black guy. Easily one of my favorite Jasons of all time. I even love the main characters, especially Clay. Because Clay pretty much like that one guy from part 4, but much better. Plus, he able to check Trent in his place. I felt bad when Jenna died, because I really did ship her and Clay though. The rest of the extras, they're alright though. But Trent, I don't know why you're very strict. You invite these niggas to a summer house. As I can see, I really love this movie, and that's why I give it A minus. So that's the last Friday the 13th movie. I really had a great time with this franchise, and this is the reason why this franchise is now in my number 12 favorite franchise of all time. What's up, everyone? It's Deuce 95. Hope y'all feeling fine. The Friday 13 marathon is now over. Now it's time to get to the rankings. Number 12, Jason Takes Manhattan. Terrible movie. Complicated story. Jason was not his best. Very forgettable main character and cast. The only saving grace was Julius. Number 11, Jason Goes to Hell. Like Jason body wasn't in the movie as much. The body swapping didn't feel like Friday 13. I like the idea of the Voorhees family, but Jason family was very forgettable. The only good part I can say about the movie was the special effects. Number 10, A New Beginning. I love the idea of Tommy dealing with PTSD and dealing with people with mental health issues. But the problem is, Tommy wasn't in the movie as much. The character was super undeveloped, especially people with mental health issues. Roy was god-awful, and the kills were very mediocre. The only good part I can say is Tommy, even though he wasn't in the movie as much, but he was still good, I cannot lie. Number 9, Part 3. Part 3 was pretty much just like Part 1, Part 2. But this time the cast was very generic, especially Shelly. Except for you, Chris, you were good though. Annoying forced 3D moments, and the god was jump scare at the end. The only good part was Jason himself, and against the introduction of Jason's mask. Number 8, Jason X. Jason in space sounded like a fun idea. I'm glad the writers really stuck to that. But the problem is, most of the jokes didn't land. Well, I won't say most, like 50-50. And the only good thing I could say about was, Jason himself, especially Uber Jason. Number 7, The New Blood. A great introduction of Kane Hodder as Jason. If he said by this Jason, he'd be by the best, but unfortunately, he's in the worst Friday 13 movies. Tina was a great final girl due to her character and backstory. I clapped for joy when I saw Melissa and the daughter get killed. The aftershock remind me so much of Part 4. The only problem I don't like about this movie is the supporting cast. Number 6, Part 2. Part 2 was a great introduction for Jason. I'm really glad they really showed different. He's very different from his mom. Jenny was a great final girl, especially I really love her relation with Paul. The only thing I don't like about this movie is, of course, it's a supporting cast because, they didn't have development. Also, talking about Jason's backstory still give me chills to this day. Number 5, Part 1. I still stand by that Part 1 is a good movie. Yeah, people may say it got slow moments, but I love the slow moments because the slow moments give it a very dark atmosphere, and I really like seeing the characters act like teenagers for once. Especially Part 1 was great as Pamela Voorhees, and the special effects by Tom Savini were phenomenal. Number 4, Part 4. A great introduction of a pissed off Jason. Great introduction of Tommy Jarvis. I really love the dark atmosphere of this movie, and the kills are by far Tom Savini's best work. This is very generic. The only problem is the supporting characters. Number 3, 2009. 2009 gets a great introduction of Rambo Jason. Cause I really love this Jason. It really showing that he's very smart and very battle IQ heavy. And Clay was a great main character. I personally think the supporting cast are better in Part 1 than in 2009. Number 2, Jason Live. What can I say? A great Jason. Special effects. Tommy Jarvis. Man, I wish Tommy was the main character of this series. Cause I really love his dynamic with Jason. Also a great introduction that that shows that Jason do not kill kids. And finally, number 1, Freddy vs. Jason. What can I say? The dynamic of Jason and Freddy, most of the character development, and the special effects were amazing as hell. Like, even with the CGI parts, I still love it. Even if this movie went through hell, I'm so glad that, you know, it came out and it gets like one of the best Friday 13 movies of all time. What's up, everyone? It's Juice 95. Hope y'all feeling fine. Now it's time to talk about the man himself and the GOAT of horror movie slashers of all time. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Jason Voorhees. Before doing this, I've always been a fan of Jason due to his design, kills, backstory, power scaling, and of course, the parodies. But after this marathon was over, Jason is still my #1 favorite horror movie slasher of all time. Will it change? I don't know, but I still want to give the go, like, you know, his dedicated short. It's just crazy how this started because Jason was not meant to be, like, you know, the main villain. Because Sean and Victor was extremely against the idea. Hell, Thomas Savini, he left doing their special effects because he was super against Jason, because he honestly views Jason as a special needs kid. But look him now. Now Sean and Victor are fighting over him. Man, this is pretty much like a divorced couple or of a single mother and deadbeat father who really would not care about their kid. But now their kid is famous and now they're fighting over him. Speaking of which, I love the idea of Jason being, like, you know, a mental disabled person, only because, you know, it gave him like depth for his character and just prove that, you know, his environment pretty much changed him due to his bullying from his peers. And the only loving he got was from his mother. It really doesn't matter if you view that Jason was, you know, dead the whole time, or, you know, he actually wasn't drowned and he just saw his mother getting killed. It still proved that Jason still got love for his mother. And after his mother got killed, he knows, like, you know, there's no hope for him in this world. So he pretty much, you know, just want to live in the woods. And that's why he made, you know, Camp Crystal Lake his territory for him and his deceased mother. Hell, we don't know what his relationship with his father is like. Like, yeah, there are novels and comic books, and there was even a deleted scene in Jason Live that, you know, talk about how his father was. But we can still tell, you know, he pretty much left the family or got killed. If I ever do a Jason Voorhees bio, my Jason would probably be like, you know, he will still be disabled, but, you know, his father will leave his family due to, like, disabled, and that would make Jason realize, like, he possibly viewed that, you know, he was the reason that his father left, and now society pretty much gets him due to his disability. But the only person that loves him who he is his mother. He still get bullied by his peers and he still drown. I'm on the side of Jason, like, you know, he died from drowning and he didn't come back to life until, like, you know, after his mother's death. After coming back to life and killing Alice, he took his mother course and he decided, like, you know, stay in Camp Crystal Lake because society found him and he feel like, you know, society is not worth it. So he decided, like, just abandon himself. So if anyone come to his territory, Camp Crystal Lake, who made him where he is, he would just kill him just for him and his mother. Oh yeah, my boy's still doing those woods workouts and got the battle IQ of a hunter. Shout out to 2009 Jason. So you can see my Jason pretty much mix of part 2, 3, 4, and 2009. And he still become a zombie though, because remember, zombie Jason, that's iconic. Give my boy a main antagonist, which is Tommy Jarvis. Shout out all the actors that play Jason. My favorite is CJ. It will be Kane Harder, but unfortunately Kane was in, you know, in part 8 and 9. And I want to talk about those movies. So is Jason like the most in-depth character of all time? No, but what we got so far, I love it though. Like, I really love seeing him. I really hope that, you know, is like a huge Friday 13 fan out there that possibly do Jason justice in the near future. Because what we got right now is like, what is this? One last thing, here's my tier ranking of Jason designs. What's up, everyone? Juice 95. Hope y'all feeling fine. Now, since the marathon is over, I'm gonna give you my overall thoughts on this Friday 13 series. And let me tell you, like, it was a great experience for me. Like, yeah, it did have its downs, but it did have their ups though. That was being, like, you know, Jason Voorhees himself. Most of the Friday 13 movies were good in my eyes. Tommy Jarvis, all the actors who played Jason did an amazing job, especially portraying him very different from one another. The special effects of the gore and the costume design, and, you know, learning about the history of the franchise. So I'm happy to say get the experience on the movies that I watched and seeing the new movies that I haven't watched. The downs being these two movies, different creative differences on how the series should go, the lawsuit between Victor and Sean, and the complicated story of how the series, you know, should go. The lawsuit is the reason why we had not seen a Friday 13 movie in a long time. And the crazy part is, the aftermath of the lawsuit, Victor got the rights for part 1, but he cannot do anything for the sequels. While Sean, he got the rights for the sequels, but he can't do anything in the part 1. So that means that Victor, he got everything in part 1, like, you know, Pamela Voorhees, Kid Jason, and a lot of the characters. While Sean, he pretty much got, you know, the accounting ones, like, you know, Jason, the hockey man, zombie Jason, Tommy Jarvis, like everything. But I'll be brutally honest, this is very stupid. Only because ain't none of these niggas believe in the vision after part 1. And the crazy part is, they really didn't make this series popular in the first place. Like, remember, they were against the idea of Jason being the main villain. They only doing this, like, because, you know, they want money. And Victor, you know, he had not been in the game for like years. I just think, like, if Friday 13 had, like, you know, a creative vision, just like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it would not have to do with none of this lawsuit. Because let's not forget, Sean and Miller and everybody else who were on part 1, they just view it just as a Halloween knockoff and just want another paycheck. But hey, money control people. Because let's be real though, the Friday 13 got very successful in the first place. It's through the special effects of, you know, the gore and the kills. Because, you know, this was very different back in, like, in the early 1980s. Shout out to all the special effect artists who brought the series to life, such as Tom Savini, John Carl, Howard Buxmer, Robert Kurtzman, Greg Nicotero, and many more. Yeah, the franchise, isn't perfect, and I agree with ChatGPT that the franchise is overall like a mid-B if you go by my ranking. But I also disagree with the critics, like, yo, y'all are very too harsh. Well, y'all can be harsh on these two movies. At the end of the day, I had a great time with this experience. It helped me learn so much about the series. And Friday 13 is by far my number 12 favorite franchise of all time. And Jason is by far my favorite slasher of all time. Like, nothing will change this. I'll recommend a lot of my favorite Friday 13 videos in the description below. Here's a tier list of my favorite movies of all time. And I'm really had a great time with this marathon. I can't wait to do more horror movie series in the future. And also, I'm really glad I was able to finish a marathon and a retrospective for my fans. Because, I care so much. I like learning new things. And help everyone join this journey with me too. So thank you, Friday 13. I can't wait to talk about you some more. And I really hope we finally get a new movie because it's been so long. We need a new Jason movie.